From fish with glass heads to venomous mammals that lay eggs, these creatures defy science, but yes, they're 100% real. If you ever thought seaweed could come to life and float away, you're not entirely wrong. Meet the leafy sea dragon, an animal so strange, even marine biologists had to double-check it wasn't a prank. Found along the southern coast of Australia, this creature looks like something out of a fantasy game. It's a relative of the seahorse, but unlike its upright cousin, the leafy sea dragon is covered in leaf-like flaps that make it almost invisible underwater. It doesn't use these leafy extensions to swim, they're just camouflage. The actual swimming is handled by tiny fins that beat so fast they're nearly invisible. What makes it truly baffling is how perfectly it blends into its surroundings. In the world of ocean predators and prey, this creature's best weapon is looking like it belongs nowhere. It drifts slowly, rocking gently like a piece of seaweed, making it nearly impossible to spot unless you're trained to look for it. And even then, good luck. Here's the kicker. Leafy sea dragons don't have teeth or stomachs. They suck in tiny shrimp and plankton through a long, straw-like snout and digest them slowly. They're delicate, hard to keep in captivity, and only found in a very limited part of the world. That's part of what makes them feel so out of place, like a creature from a studio animation that accidentally got coded into the real world. There's also the fact that the males, not the females, carry the eggs. After a strange courtship dance, the female lays her eggs on a special patch on the male's tail, and he keeps them safe until they hatch. If that reminds you of seahorses, you're spot on, but in the leafy sea dragon's case, the whole process looks like a graceful underwater ballet. You won't find them darting around or doing tricks. Their elegance is in their stillness. In a world that moves fast, this creature just floats. And somehow that's its survival strategy. It's hard not to stare when you see one. It doesn't look like a fish. It doesn't move like a fish. In fact, it barely looks real. This animal looks like it was sketched by someone half asleep and half dreaming. The pink fairy armadillo is real, and yes, it's exactly as bizarre as it sounds. It's the smallest species of armadillo in the world, only about 5 inches long, and it lives almost its entire life underground in the dry plains of central Argentina. What sets it apart immediately is the soft, pink shell on its back. It doesn't just look unusual, it actually helps regulate body temperature by circulating blood close to the surface, giving it that pink flush. Weirdly useful and weirdly adorable. This tiny digger is built like a strange hybrid between a hamster, a mole, and a fortune cookie. Its front claws are massive compared to its body and are made for digging with speed and precision. It can vanish into soft soil in seconds. Its body is covered in silky, pale fur, and it moves through the ground like it's swimming through sand. Unlike its armored cousins, the pink fairy armadillo has a shell that's not fully attached to its body. It's more like a flexible plate hovering over its back. Spotting one in the wild is almost impossible. They're nocturnal, elusive, and sensitive to environmental changes. When researchers do get a glimpse, it's always a big deal. Most of what we know comes from rare moments of observation. Despite its soft look, this creature is tough adapted to survive underground, where temperatures shift and predators can't reach. You could scroll through thousands of images of desert animals and never spot anything like it. The pink fairy armadillo doesn't look like it evolved here. It looks like it wandered in from a lost fantasy world. It has no close rival in appearance, no lookalike in any other ecosystem. And every time you see it, you're left wondering, how can something this odd be real? This creature looks like it just stepped off the set of Jurassic Park. It's big, muscular, and has claws that could carve up tree bark in seconds. Some call it the dinosaur lizard, but scientists know it as a type of monitor lizard, possibly a black-throated monitor or a massive savanna monitor. Either way, it's one of the most prehistoric-looking animals still walking the earth today. What shocks most people first is the sheer size. These lizards can grow over 5 feet long and weigh more than 50 pounds. Their tails are muscular and whip-like, their claws curve like meat hooks, and their thick skin is covered in rough, bumpy scales. When you see one up close, there's no mistaking the ancient vibe. It feels like it never got the memo that dinosaurs were supposed to go extinct. These reptiles aren't just for show. They're powerful diggers and climbers, and they can move fast when they want to. They use their forked tongues like snakes, flicking the air to detect scent trails. And while they're not aggressive without reason, their bite is something no one wants to experience. It's not just the force, it's the bacteria too. Like their cousin, the Komodo dragon, their mouths can deliver a nasty infection. Incredibly, people do keep these lizards as exotic pets, but they're nothing like geckos or chameleons. These are animals that need space, heat, and respect. And when you look into their eyes, there's a feeling that you're staring into something ancient, something that hasn't changed much since the age of giant reptiles. The dinosaur lizard isn't just a cool nickname. It's a reminder that some creatures didn't disappear with the meteors. They just adapted, survived, and kept walking slowly, powerfully, and always just a little bit out of place in the modern world. There's a bird out there that doesn't fly much, doesn't move much, and when it does, watch out. The shoebill stork looks like a creature straight out of the Mesozoic era. Standing up to 5 feet tall with a massive shoe-shaped bill, it doesn't just look prehistoric, it acts the part too. Its glare alone is enough to stop you in your tracks. And then there's the sound. Not a chirp, not a caw, but a deep, guttural hiss. Some even say it sounds like an old generator struggling to start. The shoebill doesn't flap around like most birds. It moves in slow, calculated motions, like a reptile that just happens to have feathers. It hunts by standing completely still in swampy waters, then lunging at lightning speed to snatch fish, frogs, and even baby crocodiles. That giant bill? It isn't just for show. It has sharp edges and a powerful grip, turning this bird into a quiet swamp predator. You'll find them in the wetlands of Central Africa, mostly in Sudan and Zambia, where they're both feared and respected. Locals used to believe they were bad omens, and you can't really blame them. With those piercing yellow eyes and that weird mechanical behavior, the shoebill doesn't look like it belongs in the same category as ducks and pigeons. Even scientists were confused when it was first classified. Is it a stork? A pelican? Some sort of feathered crocodile impersonator? Turns out it's in its own group entirely. It doesn't quite fit anywhere, and maybe that's the point. In a world of brightly colored parrots and social penguins, the shoebill is something else entirely. It's slow, strange, and undeniably fascinating, like a bird from another timeline that somehow wandered into ours. The first time European scientists saw a preserved platypus in the 18th century, they thought it was a joke. They assumed someone had stitched together parts of other animals, a beaver's tail, a duck's bill, webbed feet, and fur. But it wasn't a hoax. The platypus is real, and it's even weirder alive than it is on paper. Found only in eastern Australia and Tasmania, this animal breaks so many biological rules that it has its own playbook. It's a mammal, but it lays eggs. It has no stomach. It has fur, but spends most of its time swimming. And get this, the males have venomous spurs on their hind legs, capable of delivering a sting that can cause serious pain. That's right, a venomous mammal. Then there's the bill. It looks like a duck's, but it's more like a sixth sense. Packed with electroreceptors, it can detect the electric signals from prey hiding in the mud. That means the platypus can hunt with its eyes, ears, and nostrils completely shut. It swims with its front legs like a frog and steers with its tail, like a sea otter that went through a glitchy character generator. And when it comes to reproduction, it throws another curveball. The female lays eggs and then nurses the hatchlings with milk, except she doesn't have nipples. The milk oozes through pores in her skin, and the babies lap it up straight from her fur. It's part mammal, part reptile, part aquatic anomaly. And no one's entirely sure why it evolved this way. The platypus is a reminder that evolution doesn't care about categories. It just cares about what works. And somehow, this oddball design works beautifully. Let's talk about the naked mole rat, an animal so strange it breaks almost every rule in the mammal manual. It's hairless, nearly blind, and lives in total darkness. It looks like a cross between a hot dog and a set of dentures. But under that odd exterior hides a creature that's doing things no other mammal can. First off, naked mole rats live in colonies more like bees or ants than other mammals. They have a queen, worker classes, and even guards. Only one female reproduces while the others dig, clean, and defend the tunnels. That kind of structure is incredibly rare outside the insect world, and it's been puzzling scientists for years. Then there's their biology. Naked mole rats are almost completely immune to cancer. Studies show their cells behave in ways that prevent tumors from ever forming. And as if that wasn't enough, they also feel very little pain, especially from acid or heat. Their nerves just don't fire the same way as ours. They're basically built for extreme underground survival. They can also live with barely any oxygen. In conditions that would knock out most mammals in minutes, naked mole rats keep crawling like nothing happened. Their metabolism slows down and they switch to a kind of backup energy system. That's why researchers keep studying them, because this wrinkled, toothy creature might hold clues to things like aging and disease resistance. Despite all this, they're social animals. They communicate with squeaks and chirps, maintain organized tunnels, and even greet each other with nose touches. It's strange to think that something so unglamorous could be so advanced. But maybe that's why they don't fit in. They're built for a world we can't see, doing things we're still trying to understand. In a lab or on camera, they might look like living fossils, but inside, they're running on some of nature's most advanced programming. The axolotl is the kind of creature that looks made up, but it's 100% real. Found only in the ancient lakes beneath Mexico City, this amphibian has one strange superpower. It never grows up, literally. Unlike most salamanders that transform from aquatic larvae into land-walking adults, the axolotl skips the whole growing up phase. It stays in its baby form forever, keeping its gills, aquatic tail, and wide, curious eyes. And yet it can do things that no fully grown amphibian can. Lose a leg? It grows back. Lose part of its spine? It regenerates that too. Scientists have even observed axolotls regrowing parts of their brains. That's not science fiction, it's biology. Its cells seem to have a reset button that humans can only dream of. With its feathery gills, soft smile, and translucent skin, it almost looks animated. But this creature is no cartoon. The axolotl has been a symbol of Mexican culture for centuries and is currently under serious threat due to habitat loss and water pollution. Still, it thrives in labs around the world because of its unique ability to regenerate and stay youthful. What really makes it feel like it doesn't belong is that it breaks the rules of evolution. It doesn't morph. It doesn't age the same way. It just floats there with its gills waving like a creature from a calm alien world. For scientists, it's a living mystery. For the rest of us, it's one of the coolest, strangest things swimming on this planet. If you were to glance at the Umbonia spinosa sitting on a branch, you'd probably mistake it for a tiny thorn or a strange plant bud. That's the idea. This bug evolved to look completely inedible and totally unrecognizable. It's small, but once you spot one, it's hard to stop staring. With a bright green body, tiny legs, and a giant spike sticking straight out of its back, it looks like a piece of a cactus that decided to walk off and do its own thing. Scientists still don't fully understand why the thorn bug evolved this way. That huge horn doesn't seem to help it fly, fight, or mate. It just sits there, towering over its body like a bad fashion choice. But for predators, it works. Most birds avoid sharp things, and this bug takes advantage of that fear by pretending to be a plant's worst splinter. And it gets weirder. Umbonia spinosa bugs communicate using vibrations sent through plant stems. No squeaks, no chirps, just silent pulses that other thorn bugs can feel. It's a communication system that works like hidden radio signals in the wood. They gather in groups, cling to twigs, and just hang there like strange living decorations. No wings flapping, no obvious movements, just a row of spiked dots guarding their eggs in almost complete silence. They're not flashy or fast, they're just deeply strange, and that's what makes them unforgettable. You're not hallucinating. That fish really does look like it's wearing lipstick. The red-lipped batfish is one of the strangest looking creatures in the ocean, and its face alone is enough to make you pause. But its appearance is only the beginning. This fish lives off the coast of the Galapagos Islands and has one major problem: it can barely swim. Instead of gliding gracefully through water like most fish, the batfish walks. It uses its fins like awkward legs to shuffle across the ocean floor. Add that to its bright red lips, flattened body, and oddly serious expression, and you get something that looks like a background character from a surreal underwater movie. So what are the lips for? Scientists still aren't entirely sure. The most accepted idea is that the lips help with mating. They stand out in the dark waters and may act like a signal or a lure. The batfish also has a small lure on its head to attract prey, like a mini fishing rod built into its face. But it's not the hunting or the looks that make this fish feel so out of place. It's the movement. Watching it walk clumsily along the seafloor feels like watching evolution halfway through an update. It's as if nature got distracted and left this little guy to figure things out for itself. The result is a fish that looks like it's doing cosplay and moving like it forgot it's supposed to swim. Deep under the ocean, where sunlight never reaches and temperatures hover near boiling, lives a crab that looks like it belongs in a myth. The Yeti crab, named for its shaggy white arms, is one of the most unexpected creatures ever found near hydrothermal vents. Its fuzzy claws look more like winter mittens than body parts, and that's just the beginning of its odd behavior. Those hairs aren't just for show. They actually grow bacteria that the crab uses for food. That's right, the Yeti crab farms its meals right on its own arms. It waves them gently in the chemical-rich water, encouraging the bacteria to grow, then scrapes them off to eat. It's basically a walking buffet. You won't find this crab near beaches or coral reefs. It lives miles deep, clinging to rocks near superheated vents that spew out boiling, mineral-rich fluids. Temperatures nearby can reach hundreds of degrees Fahrenheit, yet the Yeti crab thrives in this extreme environment where most life wouldn't last more than a minute. And while it's small, about the size of a human hand, it looks like something from a sci-fi movie. Its ghost white body, glowing surroundings, and fuzzy limbs give it an alien feel. No eyes, no shell polish, no interest in human contact. Just a quiet, crawling survivor at the bottom of the planet. It's another reminder that while we're busy looking to space for signs of strange life, Earth is still full of creatures that feel like they shouldn't be real, but definitely are. The first time you see a saiga antelope, like your brain might glitch. It's not a Photoshop trick. That massive downturned nose is completely real. It looks like something out of a science fiction show, maybe something that wandered off the set of Star Wars. But this isn't a fictional creature. The saiga is very real and very ancient. It's a true Ice Age survivor that used to roam with mammoths and saber-toothed cats. That strange nose isn't just for looks. It's a built-in air filter. In the summer, it helps cool the hot, dusty air before it reaches the lungs. In the winter, it warms freezing air before it gets inside the body. It's a full-time climate control system stuck right to the front of its face. It might look strange to us, but it's a brilliant piece of natural engineering. The saiga's body is built for speed. It can run up to 50 miles per hour across the vast open steppes of Central Asia. Its thin legs and lightweight frame help it escape predators, but its true defense has always been numbers massive herds once filled the grasslands. These days, though, those herds are much smaller. Even though the saiga has lasted for thousands of years, modern challenges like habitat loss and disease have pushed it closer to the edge. Still, it remains one of the most unforgettable animals on Earth. You look at it once and never forget it. That nose, those eyes, that prehistoric energy. The saiga seems like a leftover from another time, one that just barely made it to ours. At first glance, the glass frog doesn't look that different from other small, tree-dwelling frogs. It's lime green, about the size of a grape, and blends perfectly with the leaves around it. But then you turn it over and things get wild. Its belly is completely transparent. You can see its heart beating, its lungs filling, even its stomach digesting. There's no skin pigment on the underside of the glass frog. It's like nature decided to make a frog out of jelly. Scientists think this transparency might act as a kind of camouflage, helping it break up its silhouette when light shines from above. Instead of hiding like a shadow, it becomes part of the leaf. Found in the rainforests of Central and South America, glass frogs spend their lives high up in the canopy, sticking to leaves and staying mostly out of sight. When it comes to raising the next generation, though, the males take charge. They guard the eggs laid on leaves above streams, fending off other frogs and keeping the clutch moist by pressing their bellies against them. It's rare to find a creature that feels both delicate and otherworldly, but the glass frog pulls it off. It's not just its looks. It's the fact that you can literally see life happening inside it. No X-rays, no scans. Just nature doing its thing, completely visible right through the skin. If you were wandering through the forest of Madagascar at night and saw glowing eyes and spindly fingers creeping along a branch, you'd probably freeze. The eye is one of the strangest primates on the planet, and easily one of the most misunderstood. With its shaggy fur, giant ears, and long skeletal middle finger, it's been mistaken for a bad omen for centuries. But the eye isn't evil, it's just weird and genius. That creepy finger is its secret tool. The eye taps on trees, listening for hollow spaces where insect larvae might be hiding. When it hears one, it uses its sharp teeth to gnaw into the wood, then slips that long finger inside to fish out the snack. It's the only primate known to hunt like this, a method more like a woodpecker than a monkey. Its eyes are locked forward like a predator's, giving it amazing depth perception. Its ears are oversized satellite dishes, picking up even the tiniest sounds. And its finger? Thin as a twig and double-jointed. The AEI is basically a living toolkit, custom built for nighttime bug hunting. Because of its looks, the AEI has often been unfairly feared. But once you learn how it works, you realize it's not scary, it's brilliant. It's what happens when evolution solves a problem in the most unexpected way possible. This tiny creature from Madagascar looks like someone crossed a hedgehog with a highlighter. The lowland streaked tenrec is covered in black and yellow quills and sports a long, pointed snout, perfect for rooting around in the dirt. But it's what those quills do that sets it apart from every other mammal on Earth. When threatened or looking to communicate, the tenrec rubs special quills together to create a high-pitched sound. It's not a vocal call, it's not a grunt or a squeak. It's called stridulation, the same technique used by crickets. This little mammal is literally playing music with its back. No other mammal is known to do this. It uses those sounds to warn others, to stay in touch with its group, and possibly to avoid danger in the dense forest underbrush. And while it may look prickly, those bright warning stripes and sharp sounds are all part of a strategy to say, "Don't mess with me." The tenrec also has a low body temperature and barely feels pain traits it shares with another animal on this list, the naked mole rat. That combo, along with its visual flair and sound-based communication, makes the lowland streaked tenrec feel like a character from an animated jungle world. It may be small, but it's packed with features you wouldn't expect from a mammal, or even from an animal at all. It's a walking contradiction, and that's what makes it unforgettable. Deep in the blackness of the Pacific lives a fish with a see-through head. The barrel-eyed tubular eyes point straight up through its clear skull, letting it spot prey above while staying nearly motionless. When needed, those eyes rotate forward, like submarine periscopes. Its glowing green lenses cut through darkness, and its entire face looks like it belongs in a sci-fi lab. It doesn't swim fast, it doesn't chase, it just watches. And somehow that's enough to survive. That's about it. Which animal surprised you the most? Write in the comments, and don't forget to check out our other videos.